Hello, this is Manesh Patel from the EII Capital Group. Today is October 31st, 2010. This is the weekly Ichimoku analysis for the currency Forex market. Let's begin. We got a lot to cover. This normal disclaimer, this is for educational use only. All charts are either in Thinkorswim, TradeStation, or freestockcharts.com. Okay, here are my contact details. You could email me, or you could go to eiicapital.com, or you could follow us on Twitter at Ichimoku Trading. Okay, so let's go straight to the heat map. As most of you guys know from the heat map, basically the way the rating system works is that 5 to 8 is basically bullish, -5 to -8 is bearish, and +8 and -8 are the extremes. Okay, we basically give you two time frames here, the weekly and daily time frame for the rating system. And you could tell from there basically what time frames influence the other time frame. You're basically looking for fives on dailies where it's starting to influence the weekly, or vice versa for counter trend. If you look at the Euro USD, basically you could see that basically it's now bullish. It seems like the daily is now influencing the weekly. We'll go look at that one, but that's a drastic change from last week. Pound USD. It seems like the pound is basically getting stronger on the daily and starting to influence the weekly to become bullish. Australian USD is bullish. New Zealand USD is bullish. US CAD is bearish. You could see that basically kind of on the borderline here, and it looks like you're getting to par there. US Switzy was bearish. Now you could tell that daily is actually weakening now. You could tell from the Chicago and the Kumo cloud. Sorry, from the Tinkinson Cajunson. US yen still going on very, very strong to the downside as normal. Euro yen is conflict among time frames. And if you scroll down the list, you can kind of see all the others too. You could see the Australian CAD is still bullish, but the daily got weaker. Australia, New Zealand, the daily is weak. And then if you look at it moving forward, okay? So let's go and look at some charts because that's where we're going to get the most from. Let's go look at the Euro USD. And let's go look at the weekly time frame. Okay, and if you look at the Euro USD on the weekly time frame, as you probably know, remember on the weekly videos, we highlighted this was a major resistance. We kind of expected it to sit there and kind of do a little pullback. He's yet to do a pullback. Okay, so he's yet to do it's yet to do a sufficient pullback here. However, notice even though price hasn't pulled back, the Tinkins is starting to move up. So that's looking pretty good. Also, if you look at the Chicago, it's through a thick cloud, but look at that. It's actually broken through the Cajuns in now, and it looks like it's going to sit there and go through this big, thick cloud. Ideally, the scenario you kind of want to see is the price to kind of pull back to this level here of 35.07, and then kind of see if this thing's going to continue to go higher, or if it's actually going to go down here, break for this Cajunson, and then go lower. The way this looks like right now, it seems like basically remember, elections are just around the corner, so it seems like we're basically going to stick around here until elections, and then it's going to be a key question is, are we going to break this 41.30 level and go higher to this next level right here, which is 46.65, or we're going to sit there and we're going to pull back to 35.07. Not sure, but we have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen on that. If you look at the daily time frame, you can kind of just see that things just going sideways. A little push up right here on the daily time frame, but still, it's still weak as far as going bullish. The longer this consolidates, the weaker the bullish momentum is getting. Okay, let's go look at the US yen. Let's go look at the weekly time frame. If you go look at the weekly time frame, still going down below. Yet to even get close to the Tinkinson on the weekly. If you look at the daily time frame, we kind of had a little move up here above the Tinkinson, and then we came right back down there. What we're looking for is kind of like a close above the Cajunson for probably like 1 or 2 days before start looking at counter trend at all. However, this thing does look like it's starting to weaken now. Reason why is the Cajunson starting to move here, and a little push move up is going to sit there and have the Tinkinson Cajunson cross, and then we can sit there and play a counter trend off the daily. Okay, let's go look at the pound USD. Let's go to a weekly time frame. If you look at the pound USD, you're basically going sideways. Chicago's in the cloud, so it's going to cause some consolidation. However, we do have a high probability, as we've been mentioning the last couple of weeks, to get to that level right there. Sorry, the 64.21 level. We just got to wait and see, and it's got to push up. But it does look like it may have a possibility to push up and then kind of go higher. Okay, let's go look at the daily time frames. If you look at the daily time frame, it looks like it's getting stronger and stronger. The key thing right now is the Tinkinson-Cagenson inverted. That has to be straightened out. So I have a feeling what's going to happen is probably get to this resistance level here and then maybe bounce off that, pull back a little, and then try to make another run for that resistance level to break through it. Okay, let's go look at the euro pound. If you go look at the weekly time frame, basically it got to the top of the cloud right here. Well, this resistance level right here, which is a cloud, bounced off there and is now pulled back. And notice the Chicago is over here, a little more push movement up, and this thing's going to sit there and probably go to the next level, which could be here at this level of 91.02. But we got to wait and see what happens. Reason why is it could sit there, pull back, and the pullback then could be extreme to a point it crosses over the Cagenson and go to retest the low. So we got to wait and see where the pullback is, and then kind of go from there to see which way it's going to go. If it does cross the Cagenson, this thing does have a tendency of probably going to retest the lows. However, I doubt that. Reason why the Chicago is going to he is here in price and then has a tendency of getting into this open space here with a thin cloud above it. So it does look like it has a possibility of going lower. Let's go look at Australian USD. Australian USD is still bullish on the weekly time frame. Let's go look at US Switzy, Euro Switzy. Look at Euro Switzy. Came to the Cagenson, broke through the Cagenson, and is still going up higher. This thing is going to pull back sooner or later. We just got a matter of time. Let's go look at the daily on that one. You could see this is a nice breakout here. This is a perfect scenario, October 31st to enter this one. And there's a high probability that this right here is going to go to 38.32. And then the question is what's it going to do at that point. So we got to wait and see what happens. But there was an ideal trade right here on October 21st where it broke through everything and went higher. Okay. Let's go look at US Switzy lastly, and you could see from the daily time frame US Switzy is ideal too. We want it to pull back. Once it pulls back, then we're going to look for a counter trend trade here to break this pivot and then sit there and go higher. Okay, if you go look at the weekly time frame, weekly shows you the same thing. This is basically we're waiting for a close above the Tinkinson for a pullback on the weekly, which would be basically a trend on the daily. Okay. Hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you have any questions, please post them on the discussion forum. Here are my contact details. Have a good week trading currencies.